All right, very good evening. I'm sorry, a little technical glitch. I couldn't understand. It has gone live. My name is Mrinal. I am the co-founder of Pinakha Transformations. I am a cognitive neuroscientist, an independent researcher, a cognitive neurocoach, and the creator of the Granular Self. Well, the workshop, the live event today is to help our fellow friends with respect to something which has been there on my mind for a long time: the five laws of the brain. Now, why did this topic come to my mind? But the topic has come to my mind because of a couple of reasons. Reason number one is that our mind definitely is not in our control. Okay, there are a lot of theories around it. In fact, there is a well-known theory uh, built on the experiment conducted by Benjamin Libet in the 1970s and 80s. The experiment was to see whether we have any free will or not. Uh, when I say whether we have any free will or not, what we are trying to say is whether whatever thoughts come to our mind and whatever actions we take, whatever behaviors we demonstrate, are those because we are thinking, we are the owners, we are the ones who decided. That was the experiment. The experiment clearly showed that what we do is decided a couple of seconds earlier by the brain itself. Those areas of the brains light up, and once they light up, we either say that or we do it, which clearly means that our brain is deciding a couple of seconds before what has to be done or what has to be thought. So that's remarkable. That's a remarkable discovery. Okay, Benjamin Libet has been both praised and criticized. Of course, it's a scientific community, and we always respect various opinions, whether it is the philosophers or cognitive neuroscientists or computational neuroscientists or people working on consciousness, neuroscientists working on consciousness. Now, the five laws of the brain, the whole program which I am conducting today, is the result of such experiments and such points of view. That what are the laws? What are the ways brain works? Because mind is something that we all possess. It is there. Unfortunately, we don't have a start and a stop button. We don't have a mechanism where I can feed that I want to think like this, and that's how my mind will think. Imagine if there was a mechanism like this. Imagine if I had uh, an option of feeding my mind that from tomorrow onwards I will think positively about going to the gym, and I will have only those thoughts which will say that I will go to the gym, and those thoughts will be very powerful. Those thoughts will not be countered by any other negative thoughts, and that I will demonstrate that kind of behavior. I will have that kind of energy and enthusiasm, and I will go to the gym every day at 6 a.m. And my habit, building the habit will start from next day onwards straight away. Imagine if it was like that. Okay, our world would have been a paradise. A poor man would think, a poor man would feed a code inside his brain that from tomorrow onwards I will think about becoming rich, and I will only have positive thoughts about how to become rich, and I will think only the ways of becoming rich, and I will acquire that intelligence, and I will acquire that skill, I will acquire the talent needed to become rich, and I will demonstrate those kinds of behaviors. And from the next day onwards, this guy is exactly doing what has been coded inside. uh, everybody would have been rich on the planet. Everybody would have been following good habits on the planet. Everybody would have been looking forward to a great, great, bright future. No sadness, no tragedies, no mental illnesses, nothing would have existed. But is that the case? That's not the case. The case is we all agree that our works independently. Yes, can we influence it? We do try to influence it. Do we get 100% success? No, we don't get 100% success. Do we get the success at the rate we want it to be? Are we able to get the success within the timelines we have decided? No, we don't get the success within the timelines we have decided. So, what is happening here? We want to know, we want to go deeper into it. So, as a cognitive researcher, a researcher in the field of cognitive neuroscience and embodied cognition. I have spent 9 years, last 9 years, in understanding how the brain works to create the mind. And as most of you are now already aware, I'm the creator of the brainular self. So I was the one who has proposed this theory that the brain creates self first. Once the self is created, it employs consciousness. It marshals consciousness into itself. And once the consciousness goes into the self, the three engines, the emotional engine, the cognitive engine, and the perception engine start working. Once they start working, the mind is created. Okay? So, this is the process. This is what I'm proposing in my theory, the brainular self. Nevertheless, now what we are going to talk today is about the five laws. That is, what is the way the brain works? The first law is the brain is a doing machine. Write it down. You want to tattoo it, tattoo it. You want to think about it for the next few days, write it down and think about it. And I'm going to give you my reasons, my arguments for the same. It's a doing machine, okay? Which means it will always do. Go back to your childhood. Is there a point in your life when the brain said, uh, not do this, not do this, not do this, not do this? No, it always told you to do this, do that. Do the cycling, do the questioning, do the playing. It will always tell you to do. Okay, so you are it is always oriented towards doing something, whether it is thinking, whether it is sitting. If your brain says go and sit, which means it wants you to do something. Okay, if your brain says go and sleep, so your brain is telling you to do something. That doing is sleeping. If your brain tells you to do nothing, so it is not telling you not to do anything. It is telling you do nothing, which means relax. So you are supposed to do something, even if it means to do nothing, which is relaxation. Relax, relax. So it is telling you to do relaxation, relax. Okay, so that is the doing thing. Now the counter argument you will have is, Mrinal, there are a lot of times my brain tells me not to do it, not to eat chole bhature, not to go beyond a certain speed limit while I drive. Okay, not to play with fire, not to jump from the 13th floor of the building. Does it do? Of course, your brain also tells you not to do, but that's a very short term phenomenon. Remember that, because the brain is not meant to not to do for a very long time. On a longer run, the brain will always tell you how to do it in a different, safe manner. For example, this will also help you to understand how inventions and discoveries happen. Because when the brain says, do not jump from the 13th floor of the building, or do not eat chole bhature, the brain after some time starts thinking how to do it safely. That means it does not stick to not do. It finds options to do it more safely. Okay, so the options are Uh, how to jump from the 13th floor of a building without dying. So now it is going to look for an option. So I will use a rope, or I will use a parachute or something, or I'll use a combustion engine which will keep me afloat. So it is always looking for options. So not do is a short term phenomenon. In the long run, it will always ask you how to do it safely. That is how inventions and discoveries take place. So you are a doing machine. You are dealing with a doing machine. What it means is, in your life, if you are not able to do something, your brain is giving you that prompt only for the short term. For the long term, it wants you to find out how to do it in a safe manner. And that is where your struggle is at the moment. You want to be an entrepreneur, okay, and your brain is telling you not to be an entrepreneur right now at this stage of your career, because your career depends on earning a stable monthly income. You have a family, you don't have a backup, a financial backup. So sorry, don't go for a startup, don't be an entrepreneur. But that's a short term phenomenon. If you notice, over a period of time, your brain will tell you how to do it safely. So it will not stop at not to do. It will find options to do it safely. It is a doing machine. It cannot stop. It cannot hold on to not do it for a very, very long time. Okay. So that is an extremely important point for all of you to remember, that your brain is not going to stop. If it is telling you not to do something today, it is deep inside, deep within, it is finding ways to do it safely. That is why you must have seen a lot of people who smoke cigarettes. You tell your brain, I don't want to do it. No, I shouldn't do it. Even your brain tells you, oh, this is not a good thing. You are smoking excessively. But it doesn't stop there. Over a period of time, it starts asking how to do it safely. So, see, the inventions and the discoveries come from that functioning of the brain. It tells you how to do it safely. So, what happens? Inventions and discoveries take place, like inventing nicotix, the nicotine chewing gums. That is what tells it, okay, I will consume nicotine, but I will consume it safely. So safely is what root? Safely is chewing on the nicotines. Okay, chewing the nicotines. Okay, chewing the nicotine gums. Okay, or applying the nicotine patch. So doing is the essential part of your brain. That's number one. That's number one law. So do not what I'm the importance of the law over here is, you have to complete the whole cycle. If your brain today is telling not to do something, it clearly means your brain is going to find a way to do it in the long run. So please spend your energy on trying to do it in a safe manner. If you don't employ your energy in finding a way to do it in a safe manner, your brain is going to remain occupied. It is going to remain a little frustrated, a little confused. It is going to spend energy, extra energy. It is going to consume your extra energy to do it safely. So you will have to find how to do it safely. Okay. So that's number one law. Okay. Let's come to law number two. What is law number two? Now, law number two is extremely important. You have heard about law number two in various ways, but I do not adhere to that explanation. For me, it has to be a scientific explanation. Okay. Now, law number two is that brain operates on bipolar schemas. Now I'm going to make it simple for you. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to make it simple for you. But it operates on bipolar schemas. What are bipolar schemas? Okay, for brain to do anything, it needs dimensions. Okay, it needs dimensions. It cannot work in space, in empty space. It needs dimensions. Okay, dimensions means it needs to know, it needs to uh, create dimensions in the space. Okay, and it uses body as the locus. It uses the body as the locus. Okay, so the easiest way to understand is the first dimension it looks at is here, there. Okay, here, there. Okay, it's a bipolar schema, two poles, here, there. Okay, now this schema gives it an opportunity to start thinking meaningfully. That's how mind is created. If I take away this schema, it can't think. So it needs this schema here, there. So what it does is it starts thinking about it. I am right now here. Am I safe? Am I happy? Am I doing good? Okay, good. I am doing good. I am happy. I'm safe. Agreed? I'm doing good. Now it will ask itself, what if I travel to there? What will happen? What is going to happen if I travel there? Okay, so it will start thinking, what all is there? So it will look at all the parameters. Am I happy? Am I safe? Am I comfortable? If it gets convinced that going there will make it more happy, will make it more comfortable, that's how the meaning is created. That's how the mind is created. So now it's thinking, I am good here. I can be better there. So for the mind to think in terms of good, better, best, it needed the schema here, there, here, there. Okay. So here, there is what creates mind. It's a bipolar schema. Okay. So that means now I want all of you to analyze your thinking. Look at it. You're always thinking in terms of bipoles, two poles. I am here, I have to reach there. Okay. It could be physical journey, it could be an abstract journey. For example, I am less happy today. I want to be more happy. Where will I be more happy? I'll be more happy if I work in that company. I am in this company right now. Here, if I go there in that company, I'll be more happy. So here, there is what the brain is embedding itself. It creates itself. Okay, it is there. I am here. I will go there. So this journey, this distance between these 2 points here and there is inside your brain. It is always worried about this distance. This distance is where it starts to think, oh my God, I'm still here when I'll be there. It is inside your brain. It is literally on your physical brain. So the neurons are trying to figure out how to take the action there. Okay, your neurons are trying to find out, and because your neurons are trying to find out and the thought is there, accordingly you are releasing neurotransmitters and hormones. You're releasing cortisol because you think you are here, and the brain inside says you have to be there, and it is measuring the distance, it is calculating the time. So if it is more time, more distance, and you have lack of resources to reach there, it starts releasing cortisol, to give you some sort of stress, or it starts releasing norepinephrine to give you a sort of uh, alertness and ambition to be there. Of course, there are the neurotransmitters, but this is how it works. So, this schema is right inside your head, and it is giving you a subjective experience. Okay, now let me do a reductionist method. If I remove the schema from your head, okay, I surgically remove it. I i disable the neurons on the schema. I disable the neurons and the schema stops working. You won't have any subjective experience at all. You won't feel I am here and I have to be there. You won't have the idea of being here at all. You will be like, I am. Where are you? I am. Are you here or are you there? I don't know. I am. That's how you will talk. So, this meditativeness, this meditation which people teach you, the mindfulness that always focus on I am, I am, I am, or so hum, I am Shiva, so hum, I am. This whole meditation or mindfulness is all about removing your attention from the schema. Removing it, remove the attention, remove the whole functioning of the brain working on the schema that I am here, I have to be there, because that creates a lot of stress. It creates and if, as I said, brain is a doing machine. So once it gets the schemas here, there, up and down, in and out, once it gets the schemas, it is throughout the day thinking in terms of, am I in this relationship or am I out of this relationship? Am I lower than my friends, or have I financially become as good as them and I am at the same height? Up and down, here and there, in and out. It is constantly thinking in terms of these schemas. Because these schemas are embedded, your brain is actually calculating the distance, and it is actually calculating the time it has taken to reach there, or the time it will take to reach there. And because it is always doing the calculations, that is what creates stress. So the whole cause of stress is these schemas of here and there, in and out, up and down. That is why in meditation, in mindfulness, in vipassana, they teach you to take attention away from the schemas and focus on only one thing: I am. Do not think in terms of going somewhere or reaching somewhere. Do not think in terms of being part of something or not being part of something. Do not think in terms of I am at a certain height, I want to go above that. Don't take the attention away from the schemas. If you take the attention away from the schemas, you experience a unified bliss. Unified. That means the two poles have merged into a single point. That means there is no here and there is no in and out, there is no up and down. So, more active the schemas, more stress you will have, positive stress, not only negative stress. That's a wrong thing to say. You have a lot of positive stress in your life that makes you do wonderful things, that makes you achieve a lot of things. Okay, so that's a positive stress. So you are engaging in a lot of positive stress. The third law of the brain is, which I've already stated in a couple of times before also, and I stated it today also, that your brain spends maximum energy, maximum consciousness on creating and maintaining self. self, which is, if I ask you a question, how many times do you get great ideas in a day? Some of you will say once, some of you will say twice, some of you will say thrice. Okay, some, everybody. Then I will ask you, how many times do you get negative emotions in a day? Some of you will say 4 times, some of you will say 6 times, some of you will say zero. If I ask everybody, how many times do you remember you are you? How many times in a day do you remember you are you? That is the self. You are the self. You are Rohit. You are Nupur. You are Sakshi. You are Andy. You are Rich. You are Mrinal. How many times do you remember it? You will be a little confused because the answer is you remember it throughout the day. Not even once do you forget it. So, for example, if I ask you, how many times in a day do you forget that you are not you? You are not Bernal, you are not Sakshi, you are not Rich, you are not Roy. How many times in a day do you forget it? You'll be like, dude, what kind of a question is that? I never forget that. I always remember I am who I am. It is always there. The sense of I, the sense of who I am is always there. So that is your next law. The law is that your brain creates yourself and maintains it throughout the day, except in deep sleep, except when you are in deep sleep. Otherwise, in your wakeful consciousness and in your dream state, you are always aware you who you are. There is a sense of I. You will remember yourself as a body. You will remember yourself as Mrinal. You will remember yourself as an employee of XYZ company. You will remember yourself as a project manager. You will remember yourself as a CEO. You will remember yourself as a parent. You will remember yourself as a painter. You will remember yourself as a human being. Whatever sense of I you have, it will always be there with you. Not even for a single moment you forget who you are. Imagine, imagine if the brain does not maintain the sense of I even for 1 minute, what will happen to us? We'll be in disarray, we'll be totally confused for that 1 minute. It will create a lot of panic inside us. It's a disease. Okay. I was talking to a cognitive neuroscientist recently. Probably he's from IISc, Bangalore, or maybe BHU. I don't remember. And he said, "But now that's a very valid point, because in certain cases like schizophrenia and all, people do forget their sense of I, and that could have disastrous results." Okay, so that's your law number 3, I believe. Now let's come to law number 4. Law number 4 is, oh my God, books have been written on it, a lot of lectures have been given on it. I think you're already aware of it also. Uh, there's a very famous book on this, The Molecule of More, right? Now, first, let me clear the myths. Uh, Dopamine is not a neurotransmitter. Dopamine is not a neurotransmitter. Okay, dopamine is a neuromodulator. Okay, there's a lot of different neurotransmitters have very short uh, area of exercise. Okay, they act upon very small actions, very small thought processes like serotonin or oxytocin, okay, and not dopamine. Dopamine is a neuromodulator, which means it acts on every action of yours. Now, why does it do that? Because dopamine has to make sure that you are always chasing things. Dopamine does not believe in achieving things. Dopamine is released when you experience the thrill of chasing something. It's a thrill chasing neuromodulator. Its main role is not to help you achieve something. The moment you achieve something, the high comes down. So dopamine does not want you to achieve things. Dopamine only makes sure of one thing, that you experience the thrill of chasing things. So for example, thrill of preparing a trip on your Harley Davidsons and your motorcycles and your Royal Enfields to Manali and Leh and Ladakh. So the thrill is what dopamine gives you. Okay, we're going to prepare and we're going to buy these things and we're going to buy the gear and we're going to buy accessories and prepare ourselves. We're going to form our group and this will be the route we'll take and these are the problems we can face. So the thrill of chasing things is dopamine. Dopamine is not released when you achieve something. It is a thrill chasing neuromodulator, and it acts on all your actions. Thrill of eating outside in a restaurant on a Saturday evening with your friends. Thrill of going to the bar. Thrill of buying a new body wash for yourself. Thrill of buying a new laptop. Thrill of starting something new in your life. Thrill. Once you start doing it, dopamine comes down. That's the problem. So the thrill is what keeps you excited. Once you start doing it, you have to really work on doing it in a better way, in a very innovative and creative way. Otherwise, your dopamine will go down and you will not experience the same kind of thrill. So, if you really want to have the thrill going on in your life, you better, continue uh, with the chase. That is why they say, for your objectives, for whatever goals you have, don't keep one goal. Divide the goal into several goals. So that gives you the thrill of chasing goal number 1A, goal number 1B, then going to goal number 1C, then going to goal number 1D. That the thrill keeps going on. If you keep only one goal, you will reach there and then the dopamine will go away. So don't keep one goal. Break your goals into several smaller goals and enjoy life in smaller pieces. Don't try to enjoy life in bigger pieces. For example, if you're trying to buy a house, don't tell yourself you're going to buy straight away something for 5 crores or 10 crores or 25 crores. Tell yourself, I'll buy something for a crore or two in Aravali Hills. Then I'll buy something like a farmhouse, a small farmhouse, or maybe a small cottage for myself in Goa near a beach. Then I will spend some money in having mud houses in different places, hilly areas. So you have different goals. You have a goal of having a house in Aravali Hills, a flat, and you have a goal of having a cottage in Goa Beach and a mud house in northeastern state. So what happens is the thrill keeps increasing. Your dopamine keeps increasing. You get the thrill. Okay, I'm going to enjoy a life in Goa, and they're going to enjoy a life in Northeast and a life in Aravali also. So the thrill is there. But if you invest the whole thrill into one objective, it backfires. It's not good. That's not good. Okay, and because neuro modulator like uh, neuromodulator like dopamine works only in the thrill of chasing things, uh, you have to uh, give it the opportunity to be released. The moment you stop the chase, no, the moment you do not build objectives where there is chase, where you have to chase it, which are not easily available, that is the day you retire. That is the day your hair turns gray. That is the day you become old. Yeah. So you can't be chasing things uh, and achieving them like in a moment. If you do that, it really backfires. You start losing interest in life. All right. So uh, those were the four laws. I have the fifth law also. I've written it. Uh, it's my own research, and have forgotten what is the fifth law. Uh, oh no, I've covered all the laws because I was talking about. Uh, so the first and the second law were combined together, that brain cannot, so consciousness is a fuel. Okay, I'll repeat myself. You brain creates the self and puts the consciousness into self. As I explained, you experience self all the time, and so that means brain uses maximum amount of consciousness into the self, which clearly means that consciousness is the fuel. Okay, self is the engine. Okay, so the brain puts the fuel, which is the consciousness, into the engine, which is the self, and what comes out of that is called mind. Okay, just like we have it in the car, the fuel is put into the engine, it's injected into the engine, the carburetor, and what you get out of that is the driving. Okay, the driving. So the driving pleasure is subtle. It is not something you can grab. It is something which you can experience. Okay, you can experience the car. You can touch it. You can experience the fuel. You can touch it. You can experience the engine. You can touch it. But when they combine together, the pleasure which you get, the driving pleasure, is subtle. That you can't touch. You can only experience. Similarly, brain is there. It's a tangible thing. It uses the fuel called consciousness into the engine. It puts it into the engine called self, and when it puts it into the self, what you get out of that is called mind. Okay, mind is subtle. You can't touch it, but you can experience it all the time. Since your brain is creating the self first to create the mind, that clearly means the quality of your mind is dependent on the quality of your self. The self is not something unitary. It is not like ego. It is not. I don't agree with that. I have proposed in my theory that that is not the truth. The truth is self is a framework. It's an entire framework. Okay, and I have proposed that there are three engines inside this framework. There's an emotional engine, there is a cognitive engine, and there's a perception engine. I explained the three engines and how they are interconnected, how they work in the live event I conducted yesterday. Okay, the name of the event was Internal Architecture of the Mental World. So you can go through that link. It's there on my YouTube. I don't know whether I've shared it on LinkedIn, but it's there on the YouTube. You can go through that. It explains completely how the three engines are created, how do those engines work, and how they are interrelated. Okay, so please go through that. That's extremely, extremely important for you to know that your mind is created by yourself. The quality of self determines the quality of mind, and mind is an architecture. Mind is a framework. It is a dynamic framework. It's a framework that the brain creates. Okay, you have the sub parts in it. You have the forces in it. Okay, and all the three engines have different roles to play. Okay, and the roles are defined, and the journey starts with the emotional engine, goes to the cognitive engine, and finally goes to the perception engine. So please go through that video. It's on the YouTube. I was live yesterday with that whole I explained it completely. So that's all from my side. These were the five laws. I hope this will help you in your life, and we'll see you soon. Uh, I'm sure you have seen our posts on LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere where we are talking about our podcast with the world's most favorite storyteller, Lisa Cron. Lisa Cron is going to be on our podcast on Saturday, July 25th, 10:30 p.m. IST. Uh, Lisa Cron is the world famous author of the world famous blockbuster called Wired for Story. Okay, Wired for Story is one of the greatest books written on storytelling. It's written by Lisa Cron. She travels all over the world. She's a world famous author. She's a world famous storyteller. Uh, she writes for film. She works with Hollywood. Uh, she conducts workshops at UCLA. She's amazing, amazing person. We at Pinakha are really grateful to her that she accepted our invitation to be on our podcast and share her journey and share her research. She has combined neuroscience with other forms to create a framework of storytelling, and that's why she's so famous. It has resonated with millions of people all over the world. So we'll see you on Saturday, uh, uh, July 25th, 10:30 p.m. IST. Please block your calendars. We'll be live on all the platforms, be it Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X. Okay, we'll be live. We'll be multi-streaming through StreamYard, and hope to see you there. And I'm sure you will enjoy the conversation. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye bye.